Who here is thinking at all about getting content visible on LLMs? Yeah, kind of SEO, GEO. Do we have a? Yeah, okay. So I was on I was watching a YouTube video of some experts. All the experts in the industry were talking about how you optimize content for LLMs, and the words cosine similarity were said multiple times. And I was like, I think I know what that is, kind of ish. And so I took the transcript of that video, and I kind of reverse engineered what they were saying and took some screenshots, and I made myself a little product requirements document, and I started to vibe code what I'm going to show you tonight. So it's called SimCheck, which I guess similarity check, I don't really know. What it does, it takes a topic, and it takes a URL, or you can paste content in, and it will tell you how similar that content, that topic is to the content that you've written or that you're analyzing. And that, in theory, will help you get it visible in LLMs. You have to get cited and other stuff like that, but basically it calculates a cosine similarity score. It's not academic, this is real practical. Like, I'm actually using this with a client right now to see if I can sort of make a difference in their content. How I built it, mostly Claude Code, although Codex is awesome. I've been using that a lot. I was joking on the way over here, I was talking to somebody. I wanted to check the code today with 4.6, and I think I might have sucked down all my tokens in like one. Like, can you just check this? It's like, oh, you're out of tokens. Great, awesome. So what you see on screen here, and I want to just show, I have this project template. I don't know, you watch these things and you like watch videos, you're like, this guy described this process that basically is almost like a reverse engineering interview process. So you set up the project, you drop this project template in there, and you open this prompt, the planning prompt, and it basically, and I'm, by the way, happy to share this to anybody. I'm on the site, so if anybody wants this, I'm happy to give it to you. It goes through like question by question, and it asks you all the questions. Now, again, I'm not technical, so a lot of times I'm like, you tell me, what do you recommend? So what this thing recommended was a couple of things. One of the design constraints was I wanted this to run locally because I'm tired of paying other people for things, and I've been playing around with, I have LM Studio running on here with Dolphin Mistral. Now this is a MacBook Air, so I can't run, has 16, I can run it, but I can't run anything very big, but it's good for testing. And then what I've been doing lately is using OpenRouter to sort of flip the switch so I can go talk to full-size models anytime I want, right? So local first, it wrote a Python application. The first version used what turned out to be kind of a very weak sentence transformer, if anybody knows what that is. So I upgraded that. And so at the end of the day, what I have and what I will show you now is this thing I call SimCheck. So now it's running locally, although I did put it on, Streamlit, just because I was like, oh, there's one button, and again, I'm not technical, so I'm like, oh, I can host this, and then, so this is awesome. So again, if anybody wants the URL, I'm happy to give it to you. And it's evolved. This is like version 3 or 4. I've upgraded the model, and I've started to show it to other marketers and strategy people who are now giving me feedback like, what does any of this stuff mean? How does it actually work? So there's actually a start here kind of screen that tells you what you do. It's just super basic instructions. I'm gonna actually walk you through it so you can see what it does. So let me just grab this URL here. So I found a URL that is a pretty good article, ironically, about answer optimization engine. See, now it failed. See, let's just see if this works. Otherwise, I'll just give up. Because the other mode is I don't need to use the fetcher. I can just paste content in here, which is good too. What is your name, sir?
Sam Fleming.
Let's do Sam Fleming. Okay, so the whole idea is you take a topic, you take a bunch of content, mash it together, and see what the cosine similarity is, and then it will give you a set of action items. This thing has a bunch of different modes. So if you want to, it'll auto detect the content, but also if you want to paste Markdown in or HTML, you can do that. That's all fine. So if I run analyze document, please work. Oh, it's working. That's working. Okay. So it will tell you a bunch of stuff, right? So there's 7 chunks on that page, and there's some defaults that you can set. And this score is an invented 0 to 100 score. So this, apparently, your about page is 11%, is 11 out of 100 for cosine similarity. What the application does is it gives you a literal action plan. So it will say, add a crisp definition near the top. So like, let's just go back to that page. Does it say your name? It does say your name at the top. So it's a work in progress, as we've seen so far. So it gives you action. It gives you action items. If you feed it code, it will look for a schema, which will help. And then the other thing that's interesting is that it gives you all sorts of tips on where to look to improve the content, right? So there should be a loop. Now, what's cool about this is if you want to just continue to edit the content in here, you can continue to analyze, and it will just give you the feedback. And when you're happy with the content, put it on the website, which would be good. Within here, there's also a bunch of different settings that I set up, which is, let's say you're running an e-commerce site and you want to analyze a product page, great, or a how-to page, or an FAQ page, or informational page. So basically all the different modes, in theory, that you could use to improve. I'm going to guess the fetcher is down, because I found this site called URL to Markdown, and I told my friend Claude, hey, can you just like make an API and just so that I just hit the button? So that must be what's down, because the rest of this is working. Okay, and then the last piece I will show you, and then I will disappear, is there's a statistics section in here, which again is kind of interesting. The other thing I'll say is like, part of why I built this was for me to understand and learn this term, cosine similarity. And so it built me a whole bunch of ways to think about this stuff. And this is my favorite part, which is it looks at all the chunks from the content, and it tells you basically how they rank, strong, weak. And so that you can start to really go through the content one chunk at a time and sort of go, okay, I need to improve this here, this here, this here. I'm not sure, I'm probably out of time. That was insanely ridiculous. I'm done. Thank you.